This is KGW News at 11.
Well, it has been a stormy Father's Day across the Willamette Valley, with everything from rain and hail to a waterspout and even a tornado. Thank you for joining us. I'm Blair Best. This video was shot in southwest Portland when a strong storm rolled through around 4 this afternoon. The hail mixed in with the rain, knocking leaves off the trees. And take a look at this. About an hour later, it was a winter-like scene around the Clackamas Town Center and Sunnyside, after the storms there dumped several inches of hail in a short amount of time. There are no reports of any serious crashes, but if you were driving at that time, you may have been stuck in a slowdown on I-205. Well, the rain has been causing problems on streets and freeways in the usual trouble spots, including here on westbound I-84 near Northeast 148th Avenue. The high water caused some major backups there. Now, other areas saw some street flooding. This video here was taken at Northwest 21st and Gleason, where they were dealing with a clogged storm drain. Looks like outdoor dining was not an option there today. Well, let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, on top of all of that, there was also a tornado and a water spout.
Yeah, Blair, this has been probably the more wildest weather day we've seen so far this year. You could probably rival the snowstorm we saw back in February, but today we had 2 cold core lows move in. The first was this water spout that was spotted in Camas along the Camas Slough near the Columbia River. This was spotted right around 9:30 this morning. You can see from this shot, it started out pretty weak before it started to pick up a little strength as it moved across the river. You can clearly see the rotation. That was the first one. Now let's look at the second one, which was a confirmed tornado in Lynn County in Harrisburg, which isn't far from Eugene. Again, you can see some strong rotation as it starts to pick up some debris. I did speak to witnesses who told me that it was on the ground for at least 2 minutes. No damage or injuries reported, but the National Weather Service says this was an EF0. So let's look at the wind speeds from an EF0, anywhere from 65 to 85 miles an hour. Again, the National Weather Service said it was closer to about 65 miles an hour. The length of this path was just under a mile, 150 yards wide, and again, no damages or injuries. But as we look at the radar right now, we're looking at very calm conditions compared to what we saw basically from late this morning in the afternoon and evening hours. But if you travel over the mountain passes, you're still going to be looking at some heavy snow showers tonight and into parts of tomorrow. But again, this is this upper level low that's going to be moving through again for your Monday, bringing in more scattered showers, some cooler conditions, and snow levels dropping down to 4,000 feet. You can see throughout the Oregon Cascades, you've seen several inches of snow from Mount Hood all the way down to Mount Bachelor here in the last 24 hours. As we look at tomorrow, we'll put Futurecast into motion. You can kind of see that counterclockwise rotation. I'm expecting to see some drier weather move in basically throughout your morning commute. By late morning, again, overcast skies, a few spotty showers, but I'm expecting to see those showers and the potential of some thunderstorms to pick up late tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours. Again, if you'll be traveling over the mountain passes, you're not going to be seeing major issues along the passes, but you will be seeing some snow showers at times. Again, the heavier snow will be basically 6,000 feet and higher. Again, this is a live look from our Timberline Lodge camera up, Blair. It's June 18th, and they've already seen about 4 inches of snow in the last 24 hours. Again, the snow level drops to about 4,000 feet overnight and into tomorrow. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast. We can expect to see more typical late June weather in.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. Well, developing tonight in North Idaho, 4 people are dead after a mass shooting. It happened around 7:30 in the town of Kellogg. The Shoshone County Sheriff says the suspect is in custody and there's no ongoing threat to the community. They have not released any details about the circumstances of the shooting. Well, turning now to the deadly shooting during a concert at the Gorge Amphitheater. 2 people have died. 3 others are injured, including the suspect, who is in custody. The shooting happened Saturday night at the campgrounds during an electric dance music festival. Our sister station in Washington talked with those who ran for their lives after hearing gunshots. The Beyond Wonderland Festival, a weekend of outdoor music at the Gorge Amphitheater, took a deadly turn Saturday night.
It's kind of like a horror scene. Like, it reminds me of that was when we were running.
Just before 8:30, the Grant County Sheriff's Office responded to an active shooter firing randomly into a crowd at a gorge campsite. That's when Vanessa and her friend Alex fled to safety.
We saw people getting into other people's tents to hide because it was the closest spot.
Law enforcement quickly surrounded the area and arrested the suspect. 2 people died in the shooting and 3 others were injured. The suspect was among those 3. We're told officers also fired their guns.
The concert continued on while the operation was going on in the venue. There was a mass notification sent countywide to avoid the venue and that there was a shooting that happened.
Officers told festival goers like Alex Baumgarter, who drove up from Portland, to run, hide, or fight the suspect.
And all of a sudden a big deal like an active shooter is going to be traumatizing for many people.
The festival canceled the second day of shows and tweeted that the campground was closed and there was no current danger. Some of the festival headliners also took to Twitter, sharing their condolences for the victims.
It definitely sucks. I mean, I'm missing out on all the artists that I went to see today, but I mean, it's for a good reason. It's definitely fair. I don't think anyone's in the mood to really be partying and raving right now.
The victims' families have been notified, and more information will be released this week. And there were several other shootings across the country this holiday weekend. 1 person is dead and at least 23 others were hurt in a shooting in the Chicago suburb of Willowbrook, where a large crowd had gathered for a Juneteenth celebration. Police say several people opened fire, but no suspects have been arrested. And in downtown St. Louis, a young person died in a shooting and 9 others were injured. All of the victims ranged in age from 15 to 19. A 17-year-old suspect is in custody. And in San Diego, 2 people were shot and 1 of them died. This happened at a crowded Juneteenth gathering at a city park. Police there are still looking for that shooter. Well, heads up for MAX riders. The longest disruption in MAX history is now underway. For the next 4 months, trains will not run from the Gateway Transit Center to the airport. Instead, shuttle buses will serve the Gateway, Park Rose, Cascade, and Mount Hood MAX stations. This is part of the Better Red project. Crews will lay down new tracks and new platform at PDX. Well, in just a few hours, many Providence Medical Group nurses will go on strike. Nearly 2,000 nurses will picket outside of Portland and Seaside medical centers, meaning some patient services will be canceled. Here's Thomas Schultz.
With replacement nurses filling the roles of striking nurses over the next few days, union members say they've seen glass walkways be covered with curtains. Providence officials say they're also ensuring that new workers have entrances away from the strikers. Union members say those are just a couple of the changes they've been seeing.
We have seen them for this entire week shipping patients out to other facilities.
Beginning at 5:30 Monday morning, Molly Burchell and around 1,800 other Providence Hospital nurses in Portland, Seaside, and hospice care will strike for 5 days.
We are feeling demoralized.
They say negotiations with Providence have been ongoing for 9 months, but they haven't negotiated since June 8th. Burchell says that's due to Providence's decision not to negotiate once a strike was authorized. While nurses picket, Providence officials say people should expect longer wait times at the Portland location. Elective surgeries will be paused, the neonatal ICU will close, and baby deliveries will move. Patient transfers from other hospitals will also be reduced significantly. The only surgeries that will not be paused will be life and death cases.
We're doing the best that we can to continue to provide care for our patients.
Gentry says Providence Portland provides services for 400 patients a day. 20 patients are served daily in Seaside. She says Providence will continue to provide critical services during the strike, but nurses and patients aren't confident.
They should be ashamed of themselves.
Joe Smith had colon cancer surgery this past week. He's checking out of the hospital early because his nurses are leaving too. Smith says he was uneasy about being cared for by replacement nurses.
I'm confident they could not be any better because I cannot imagine having better care than I have had for the last 5 days.
Smith's son Jeff says he will now take care of his dad.
I'm a little emotional because my dad's dealing with cancer. Has been in the hospital for 5-6 days. The best part about that experience were the nurses. The nurses were the best part of his experience in that hospital.
Providence says replacement nurses received orientation training Sunday to ensure they're ready to take over Monday morning.
We have a very qualified, experienced nursing workforce to come take care of our patients.
But patients' families say they wish Providence would agree to nurses' demands.
I think their most important thing they got to do is make sure that their most important resource is taken care of.
Providence officials say they have offered nurses a 12% pay increase in the first year of the contract. In the next 2 years, they say nurses would receive additional 3% raises. A Providence statement says the latest offer also included bonuses of up to $2,500 and 30 additional hours of paid time off over 3 years. Officials say the average full-time nurse makes $128,000 a year, but nurses say other concerns are not being met.
They consistently are tone deaf.
Burchell says Providence needs to do a better job of hiring and retaining nurses.
It is not just about money. It is about safe staffing. It is about adequate leave time, enough time, paid time off to take care of ourselves and take care of our families.
She says nurses are also asking for more affordable health care that includes mental health care. Burchell says nurses are ready to return to work Friday night after the strike, but Providence contracted replacement nurses until Saturday morning. Providence officials declined to comment on the intricacies of the contract with replacement nurses. Providence officials say they're scheduling times to continue negotiations once the strike is over. In Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.